Vikings move to 2-4. They win, beating the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Kind of similar fashion to the Carolina game where it went down to the wire. They win 19-13. It was sloppy. It was nasty. Be sure to take a shower after watching that. I will definitely do so after this video uploads. But I want to start with the undeniable. The game ball goes to Brian Flores and the entire defense. 3 takeaways, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown by Jordan Hicks. And I said this during the live stream. I don't even think this is hyperbole or a hot take. I don't think this is a stretch of the imagination at all. Jordan Hicks, I believe this season so far has been one of the best inside linebackers in the league. I would put him in the tier below Fred Warner, Levante David, CJ Mosley, and then after that, Jordan Hicks is right there. This dude, the turnaround that he had last year when he was just a guy and he can make plays and okay, fine. This man is crushing it. He gets better game by game by game. He deserves respect. They allowed just 13 points. And besides that, the defense, they deserve the game ball because they were out there doing intense cardio. They were doing some of the most strenuous workouts I've ever done was the Beachbody Insanity series workouts. That was basically them, especially for the entire second half, because as soon as the Vikings offense would get out onto the field, and the defense is going back to the sidelines, just as quickly as that happened, the defense will come back on. And all of a sudden, they got to try to stop Chicago, even with a backup quarterback. The offense for Minnesota, outside of the final drive where they basically just took the downs and ended the game, outside of the final drive in the second half, 5 possessions, 4 3-and-outs, 35 total yards. TJ Hawkinson, he's good for 1 to 2 drops per game. If I remember, I know he had at least 1. I don't remember if he had any more than that. I just can't believe that the man is clearly just in his own head. And as a receiver, I can imagine that after you get a couple of drops, it's just, okay, how do I snap out of it? You start thinking a little bit too hard. Quite honestly, I think he needs a game or 2. He's really hurting the team the more that he's out there. I would rather play Johnny Mundt. I think he needs a game or 2 just to reset and say, okay, come back the 8th game. So that would be they're 2-4 right now. So that would be the Packers game, Halloween weekend. Say, all right, the rest of the 9 games or whatever, it's a new season for me. Start fresh. The run game, 2.1 yards per carry. Alexander Mattison, I thought he would be relatively solid as a starter and get you 4 yards per carry. The run game as a whole averaged 2.1 yards per carry. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely pathetic. And Kirk Cousins was captain checkdown today, where the wide receivers, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne, Brandon Powell, the wide receivers had fewer targets than TJ Hawkinson and Alexander Mattison. Hawkinson was first, Mattison was second. Just check down after check down, settling, acting like you don't want to be out there on the football field. The defense really saved the offense's ass. So you're 2-4 now. What does that mean? I have no idea. There are still so many things that needs to be fixed. A win is a win. You got San Francisco coming up. That's going to be a bit of a doozy. But for now, enjoy the win. Not for too long, because if you feel like you can turn your season around. And by the way, I forgot to include, as far as an additional part of why the Vikings defense deserves the game ball, 5 sacks, 2 of which were by Danielle Hunter include as well as 2 tackles for losses. By the way, y'all better trade this dude while you can still potentially get a first round pick for this guy. I don't think he's going to return to this team in 2024. But there's still, if you feel like you can turn this season around, I feel like there's too much to fix. But if you feel like that, review everything that is going right, which is really not that much, the defense. But offensively, play calling, checking down the ball, you should have been able to. Jordan Addison, the offense really didn't do anything outside of the final drive of the first half, where it's, all right, let's move the ball down the field, and Jordan Addison gets the lone touchdown score for this offense. That could be the offense throughout the entire game, with or without Justin Jefferson. Now, TJ Hawkinson, that hurts. But the defense, they earned their paychecks. They really did. I would say they deserve a bonus. The Vikings, they are 2-4. We'll see you tomorrow.